welcome back to Fierce Purpose. Today we're going to talk about what is your fierce purpose. So we're going to talk about different ways that you can kind of discover your fierce purpose. So the first thing is what interests you. So, what are different things that fascinate you in life? For me, I am fascinated by how food and environment affect our bodies and our minds. I don't understand it all by any means whatsoever, but it fascinates me. If you eat sugar, how does that affect your mind and your mental state and your emotional state and, different things like that. So that just fascinates me. The second thing is, what are you passionate about? If it breaks your heart, it might be your calling. It might be what you're called in. It might be your purpose in life to help whatever that situation might be, if it's human trafficking, or for me, it's helping others, live their best life, kind of what we talk about with Fierce Purpose. It's something that excites me and, I'm very passionate about it, and it's very challenging to me, and gives me something to look forward to, something to achieve, gives me a sense of purpose, and gives me a sense of, this is what God put me on this earth to do. I don't always know what that looks like. I don't always know what that means, but that's where I'm at with it. So, the third thing is, and it sounds kind of weird, but what do you run from? This, exactly what I'm doing right now, is something that I've run from for a very long time. I dealt with I was very overweight, I was very depressed, and I had all of these issues, and I never really wanted to deal with them. I didn't think that I was someone that could be healthy. I thought that I deserved to be overweight. I thought that I, for whatever reason, deserved to be unhealthy. I hated working out. I hated eating healthy foods, which is a different definition for every person, I think. That's a whole different subject for another day. I hated dealing with things in life. Stick your head in the sand was my motto. It's not something that I enjoyed, and I don't think anyone ever really enjoys dealing with life, but you still have to. Dealing with the things around me, I isolated myself for a very long time. I never felt qualified. I never felt worthy of love. I never felt like I could make a difference in the world. And I was very overwhelmed by that. Never felt equipped, never felt like I could make an impact. The reality is that God will equip you for what He has called you to do. That's not a question. If you've been called to do something and to make an impact in a certain way, God will show you what to do. He'll show you the words that you need to speak. He'll show you the steps that you need to take. But also, just in general, like, the more you do something, the more comfortable you're going to be doing it. It's no different than when you start working out. I did CrossFit for a couple of years, and there were moves and things especially with weightlifting, that I would get so frustrated and so mad at myself because I couldn't do them. I'm an overthinker and an overanalyzer, and so I'd be so concerned with the movement and so upset that I couldn't do it right away that I would just defeat myself. And that's something that I became better at. I was still not perfect in it by any means, but I improved, and same with speaking publicly or whatever you're not comfortable with. The more you do something, the better you're going to be at it. The more you do something, riding your bike, most of us don't have to think about that anymore. You know, it's just something that we do, driving a car or whatever. The first time we do those things, it's not something we're comfortable with. We have to think about every little thing that we're doing in it, and we don't feel like we're ever gonna get it. You know, you don't feel like you're ever gonna be good at it. Well, now, I mean, half the time we drive home and we don't even think about it. We don't even know how we got home because we're on autopilot. You know, it's all about telling your brain that you can do it. So the other thing is, everyone has a story. You know, your life is totally different than my life. You know, you look at any family and every family has a different story. Every person in a family has a different story. You know, my story is completely different than my brother's story. You know, my mom's story is completely different than my aunt's story. You know, you can be siblings and grow up the exact same way and think completely different. And see life completely different. You know, my question for you though is, how will you use your story to better the world? You know, it's up to you whether you're going to pick yourself up and move forward in life or stay down. Are you going to use your voice to better the world around you? Or are you just going to keep it all in and keep silent and not do what you've been called to do? You know, and I don't know what that is. You have to make the choice. You have to make the decision for yourself to impact the world around you. You don't know how your story might impact someone. You know, it might not impact them today. It might be sometime in the future, you know, but that's something that you have to choose. You have to make the decision to do that. You know, some people don't have a clue. You might be sitting there thinking, I have absolutely no idea what I'm even passionate about, what impact I can make on the world. That's okay. You know, that's something that God will show you through time and through experiences. That's not something that I still in some ways don't know what my purpose is. But some people truly know what they're supposed to do and are completely running from it. You know, in some ways, this has been a journey that has been years in the making for me, but I ran from it. It's not something that I am comfortable doing. Again, the more you do something, the more comfortable you'll get. I'm hoping that's true. What you need to know is that if God has spoken something to you in your world that you are supposed to be doing, or you feel is your calling, don't run from it. Embrace it. And God will give you the words and the resources and the steps to take to do what you need to do. He's not going to call you to something and give you a purpose in life and then just leave you. I mean, duh, we serve a loving God that cares about you and wants you to pursue your life fiercely. You know, so stop waiting. Stop waiting on God to speak because He's already spoken. You know, stop waiting on God to say, this is what I want you to do, when you already know what you're supposed to do. I've been there. I did it for a long time and I would get so frustrated and so mad at God, be like, what do you want me to do? I have no clue what you want me to do. But in reality, He's already told me and I didn't want to hear it. I didn't think that I would be comfortable doing it. And I didn't think that I could do it well enough to honor God in it. Well, sometimes we're just human. And sometimes you just have to take that first step and trust God and trust that He is going to show you the next step after you take the first step. Sometimes you're not going to know every step. Sometimes all you're going to know is that first step. You're not going to know anything past that. That's okay. Sometimes that's how God works. He's going to show you the first step and you're going to have to take that step out of faith and trust that He is going to show you the next step when you're done taking that step. So, what kind of impact will you create in your life to help affect someone around you? So that's what I'm going to leave you with today. I hope that you will choose to follow your fierce purpose. So go and live your life fiercely, and I'll catch you guys later.
We are the brave, we'll never